A giant falls silent, remembering Phil.lesh, a legend whose music transcended generations and whose spirit touched the hearts of millions. The music world mourns deeply. Phil.lesh, the iconic bassist of the Grateful Dead, has died at 84. His influence on music and culture is immeasurable. His passing marks the end of an era. Phil was more than just a musician. He was a pioneer, a visionary, who redefined the role of the bass guitar in rock music. He was a survivor, overcoming numerous challenges throughout his life. And he was a dear friend to many, known for his warmth and generosity. His laughter and camaraderie will be sorely missed by those who knew him best. Phil's booming bass lines were the backbone of the Grateful Dead's sound. His innovative playing style provided a foundation that allowed the band's music to soar to new heights. He approached the bass with a unique style, blending complex rhythms and melodies in a way that was both groundbreaking and mesmerizing. It was unlike anything anyone had heard before. His ability to improvise and create on the spot left audiences in awe, making every performance a unique experience. He drew inspiration from classical music and jazz, infusing these elements into the Grateful Dead's music. This fusion created a sound that was both timeless and revolutionary. This gave the Dead its signature psychedelic and improvisational feel, a sound that defined an era and continues to influence musicians today. Beyond the music, Phil was a fighter. He faced numerous health issues and personal demons with courage and resilience. He battled health issues and personal demons, yet he always emerged stronger, inspiring those around him with his determination and positive outlook. But he always came back stronger. His love for music, his family, and his fans was a driving force that kept him going through the toughest times. His love for music, his wife Jill, and his fans kept him going. Their support and his passion for his craft were the pillars of his strength. Phil's spirit will live on. His legacy is immortalized in the music he created and the lives he touched. It will live on through his music and the countless lives he touched. Fans will continue to celebrate his contributions and remember the joy he brought into the world. He was a true original, a trailblazer whose influence will be felt for generations to come. And the world is a little quieter without him, but his music and spirit will continue to resonate, reminding us of the incredible legacy he left behind. The sounds of youth, from violin to avant-garde, Phil's musical journey began at a young age. He wasn't drawn to the rock and roll that would later define him. Instead, he started with the violin. He played in his school orchestra. He explored classical music. But Phil's tastes were always evolving. He picked up the trumpet, and he developed a fascination with avant-garde and experimental music. This early exploration shaped his musical sensibilities. It gave him a unique perspective that he would later bring to the Grateful Dead. His love for pushing boundaries would become a defining characteristic of his playing. It was this willingness to experiment that made him such a force in the world of music. A grateful beginning, picking up the bass. Phil.lesh's journey with the bass guitar is a story of serendipity and passion. Phil's path crossed with Jerry Garcia's in the early 1960s. It was a time of musical exploration and cultural revolution. They were both drawn together by a shared love of music. Their connection was instant, fueled by a mutual desire to push musical boundaries, but their meeting was more than just a chance encounter. It was a convergence of two creative minds destined to change the music scene. It was the start of something truly special, the birth of a band that would go on to become legendary. Jerry needed a bassist for his new band. He was looking for someone who could bring a fresh perspective. He saw something in Phil, a spark, a potential that was waiting to be unleashed. Maybe it was his open-mindedness. Phil was always willing to explore new ideas and sounds. Maybe it was his willingness to experiment. He was not afraid to venture into uncharted musical territories. Whatever it was, Jerry took a chance on him. He saw in Phil a kindred spirit, someone who could grow with the band. He asked Phil to join the band. Even though Phil had never played bass before, Phil didn't hesitate. He embraced the challenge with enthusiasm and determination. He dove headfirst into the world of the bass guitar. With every practice session, he honed his skills and developed his unique style. And with the Grateful Dead, he found the perfect outlet for his unique musical voice. Together, they created a sound that resonated with millions and left an indelible mark on music history. Breaking the mold, the bass takes center stage. Phil.lesh, the legendary bassist of the Grateful Dead, was not content with the traditional role of the bass guitar. He envisioned something far more dynamic and integral to the band's sound. Phil's approach to the bass was revolutionary. He saw the bass as a powerful voice, capable of leading the musical conversation rather than just supporting it. He didn't see it as a background instrument. Instead, he believed it could be a driving force, pushing the boundaries of what was musically possible. He saw it as an opportunity to create a conversation, a dialogue that was rich, complex, and ever-evolving. A conversation between the bass and the other instruments. This interplay was at the heart of the Grateful Dead's unique sound. He drew inspiration from his diverse musical background. Phil's early experiences with classical music, jazz, and avant-garde compositions shaped his innovative approach. He incorporated elements of jazz, classical, and the avant-garde. This fusion of styles allowed him to create bass lines that were both melodic and rhythmically complex. This gave the Grateful Dead's music its distinctive improvisational quality. Each performance was a new adventure, with the bass leading the way. His bass lines were melodic and complex. They wove through the music, adding depth and texture. They weren't just keeping the rhythm, they were an essential part of the musical narrative. They were driving the music forward. Phil's bass lines propelled the band into new musical territories. They were interacting with Jerry's guitar. The interplay between Phil and Jerry was a cornerstone of the Grateful Dead's sound. They were creating a sonic tapestry that was both intricate and exhilarating. Each note, each phrase was a thread in this rich musical fabric. Phil redefined what the bass guitar could be. He showed that it could be a lead instrument capable of carrying the melody and driving the rhythm. He elevated it to a lead instrument. His innovative approach inspired countless musicians and changed the way the bass guitar was perceived. And in doing so, he changed the landscape of rock music forever. Phil.lesh's legacy is a testament to the power of innovation and the endless possibilities of musical expression. Section 5, Dark Days and Triumphant Love, Jill and Phil's Journey. Life wasn't always easy for Phil. He faced personal struggles. He battled addiction. He received a life-saving liver transplant in 1998. But through it all, his wife Jill was his rock. Jill was more than just Phil's wife. She was his partner, his confidant, and his biggest supporter. She helped him through his darkest days. She encouraged him to stay positive, and she never gave up on him. Their love story is one of resilience, hope, and the power of human connection. It's a testament to the strength that comes from having someone who believes in you even when you don't believe in yourself. Section 6, Post-Grateful Dead career, keeping the music alive. Jerry Garcia's death in 1995 was a devastating loss. It was a loss for the Grateful Dead, for the music world, and for Phil personally. But Phil didn't let grief silence his music. He continued to play. He continued to honor Jerry's memory. He formed new bands such as Phil.lesh and Friends. He collaborated with other musicians. He kept the spirit of the Grateful Dead alive. He explored different genres and pushed his musical boundaries. Through it all, his love for music never faded. He was a testament to the enduring power of music to heal, to connect, and to inspire. Section 7, Terrapin Crossroads, a home for music and community. Phil's love for music extended beyond the stage. In 2006, he and Jill opened Terrapin Crossroads. It quickly became more than just a music venue. It became a community center, a gathering place for deadheads and music lovers alike. Terrapin Crossroads was a place where Phil could share his passion for music with others. It was a place where he could nurture young talent, collaborate with fellow musicians, and keep the spirit of the Grateful Dead alive. It was his way of giving back to the community that had given him so much. Section 8, A Legacy of Love and Music, Phil's Enduring Impact. Phil.lesh's legacy is multifaceted. He was a musician's musician, respected for his innovative bass playing and his contributions to the Grateful Dead's unique sound. He was a survivor, overcoming personal challenges and health issues with unwavering determination. But more than anything, Phil was a man who loved music, and he shared that love with the world. He connected with people through his music. He built a community on a foundation of shared passion and a love for the Grateful Dead's music. Phil's impact on music is undeniable, but his true legacy lies in the hearts of the countless people he touched with his kindness, his generosity, and his unwavering love for music. Section 9. The Spirit of the Grateful Dead, a community united in grief. The news of Phil's passing has sent shockwaves through the Deadhead community, but in the face of grief, there's also a sense of unity. Fans are sharing memories, they are celebrating his life, and they are finding solace in the music that brought them together. The Grateful Dead was more than just a band, it was a cultural phenomenon. It fostered a sense of community that transcended generations and geographical boundaries. And at the heart of it all was Phil.lesh, his booming bass lines providing the soundtrack to countless memories. Section 10. Beyond the music. Phil's humanitarian spirit. Phil's generosity extended beyond the realm of music. He was a dedicated philanthropist. He supported causes close to his heart. He used his platform to raise awareness about organ donation. He believed in giving back to the community, and he inspired others to do the same. His humanitarian spirit was an integral part of who he was. It was a testament to his character and his belief in the power of compassion. Section 11. Forever Grateful, a final farewell. Phil.lesh's light may have dimmed, but his music will continue to shine brightly. He was a true original, a musical pioneer, and a kind soul. He will be deeply missed. As we say goodbye to Phil, let us remember the joy his music brought us. Let us celebrate his life and his legacy. And let us find comfort in the knowledge that his music will continue to inspire and connect us for generations to come. Thank you, Phil, for everything. We are forever grateful.